are next in the queue, so you're recognized to speak.
Thank you. When I left yesterday through the rotunda like a normal, non-scared person who's not afraid to face my constituents, first of all, I would die of embarrassment if my constituents thought that I wasn't able to face them. When you guys had some gun bill a couple years ago, and my office was downstairs, like right below where we are now, in the west hallway. The overflow rooms for the gun hearing that day were right next to my office, right next to where Senator Moser and Senator Brandt were and Senator Merman were in that hallway. And there were guys with long guns standing outside my office, staring me down, blocking the door to my office. Did I go out the back entrance? Did I have my staff pull my car around? No, because what are you going to do, shoot me? What are you going to do, bump into me, as Senator Moser said he was afraid of happening out there? They know I wasn't going to support that gun bill. They're going to shoot me about it? I wasn't afraid of that. You guys are afraid to get bumped into by some queer teens out there? That's what you're describing. That's what you're afraid of. There were people with guns out there. They weren't on my side, I'll say that. Perhaps they should be. But if people on my side were the ones that were armed coming in here with long guns into the Capitol, we'd have some different gun laws real quick. Trans people are under attack in this country, plain and simple. It's dangerous right now in this country and in Nebraska to live outside the gender binary, to question this stuff, to even look like you're outside the gender binary. I hear you people talk about teachers with blue hair, teaching kids Marxist stuff or whatever in school. And this is just anti-queer coded comments. Trans people are under attack and LGBTQ people are under attack. In the most recent tally, the ACLU tracked nearly 500 anti-LGBTQ bills in this country, introduced in state legislatures all over the place. So when I say this has never happened in Nebraska, Senator Linehan, I'm not talking about an abortion ban. We've had abortion bans before and we've defeated them before, fair and square, but it wasn't over for you, was it? Didn't have 33, but it wasn't over. What we haven't had before in Nebraska is this kind of unprecedented attack on trans health care. We've never had an anti-trans bill before. We've never had a bathroom bill that anyone in the legislature would have taken seriously. All these Republicans who used to be in here, who all of you respect, and if we didn't have term limits, you would be kissing their butts because they'd be the ones in charge and you'd be like, oh, please put me on a committee, whatever. They're texting us last night about how devastating it is what you guys are doing to this institution. And I said, don't bring that energy to me. Don't text me and vent about it. Text your friends. Text Senator Brandt that. Go tell Senator Rupie that. Go tell Senator Hughes that. All these people you were so excited to have come into the body to maintain the respect for this place that you have so much reverence for. Don't bring that to me. Go tell the people who need to hear it. This is what we have not had before, and this is this breakdown of collegiality.
1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's just irreparable. It's irreparable. To me, it's like if you voted for a bill saying you can't get health care if you have a left foot and a right foot. You can't get health care if you were born in Blair. You can't get health care if you have 2 or more children. It's just who you are. It's just a thing about life. And you know this. Senator Rupie knows this. Senator Hughes knows this. Senator Brandt knows this. There are people in here who have taken tough votes, and you are not among the ranks of those people, and I don't respect you. When I was out in the rotunda last night, when I walked through, I started saying this earlier, when I walked through, this person, I was sort of looking straight ahead at first, and then to my left and my right, this kind of path is opening to let me walk through. And people are holding my hand, shaking my hand, trying to pat me on the back and hug me and things like that. crying parents, crying kids.
Time. Thank you, Senator Hunt. And you are next in the queue, so you're recognized to speak.
Thank you, Mr. President. And one person, as I got about halfway through the crowd, a little shorter than me, gave me this big hug and just started sobbing into my chest in that way like you've felt before, you know, and I'm holding them and I'm kind of stroking their back and they're just violently sobbing into me. And this person told me that they had tried to take their life during this legislative session. This was probably over 18, maybe like 20 or something. And they told me this in my ear. And they thanked me for everything we've been doing to fight for them and their rights, and Senator Kavanaugh too. Did anyone say that to you guys on the way out of the secret entrance? Did anyone thank you for everything you've done for them? I told that person, this person said that they had attempted suicide during this session in Nebraska, a trans person. And I said to them, do not let one of these trash people who I work with be the reason that you're not here. They don't matter. The potential you have for the rest of your life is so much bigger than the damage any of these trash people can do in their little 4-year, 8-year term. The world is big. There are more places for you to go. If Nebraska isn't the place for you, you have to put yourself and your health first. That's what I said to them. Don't let one of these garbage people be the reason you're not here. I think that when we talk about trans life, we have to also talk about trans joy. We have to talk about trans going to the grocery store. We have to talk about trans, minding their business and not being bothered by lawmakers when they're just trying to live. And I hate this focus on suicidality and depression. Senator Kauthis stood up and said that trans kids are suicidal and depressed because they're trans. No, it's because of bullies like her who are trying to legislate their existence and take away their right to be viewed as fully human in our culture and society. That's why they're depressed. If we just left them alone and didn't do all this, we'd be having a nice time, wouldn't we? We might even be done by now with this final reading worksheet. We'd all be having a nice time. And you could still hate trans people. Senator Kathleen Kauth would still hate trans people. Several of you could still refuse to take tough votes and, go, oh, it's hard to be a senator. It's so hard. I didn't know it'd be this hard. It's never been hard for me to go out and face my voters. It's never been hard for me to face them down, whether they're blue hair or whether they're holding a long gun. And no, you're not doing your job if you're afraid of that, and I'm not afraid to say so. Me calling you trash is not the same thing as losing your human rights. It's not worse. It's just words. It's not like a vote that takes someone's rights away. Thank you, Mr. President.